we are going to attempt this. Yesterday, I started to make this video and I got all the way through a half hour of content and my microphone gave out and there was absolutely no audio. We're going to try it right now. It is December 10th. We are so close to the end of the year, and if something good and decent does not happen for a lot of us, I don't know how most of us will make it into 2026. I am Kitryn Marie, reside in St. Louis, Missouri, an artist, writer, speaker, life, and a business coach, published author, have a line of merchandise. This is where my struggle is coming in. I'm watching the dogs so that they don't knock the tree over. I've got all 4 of them running around. I don't want to keep them in their crate. It is cold here in St. Louis, and I'm digressing. I am digressing a lot. I have some coffee. I really would like a large, fancy iced coffee, but I have hot coffee with some cream in it, which I never do. I never drink cream in my coffee. I need to figure out, here's my quandary. I need to figure out how Shopify works. I want to be able to incorporate my sewing projects, my line of merchandise that I have created, and incorporate it with another company that will drop ship a line that I am partnering with. Does that make sense? This next book that I'm writing, this is where this comes from. The next character, she's leaving Bangor, Pennsylvania, and she has a boutique called Sand and Sea. It's a line of very New England type wear. Beachy sweaters, airy scarves and accessories, linens, neutral colors, flowing cardigans. I want to be able, and this is where I'm having a problem, I am looking for a manufacturer that will drop ship and combine with Shopify to match with the products that I am making that are more on the boho trendy side. So Shopify, they do a lot of things like behind their doors. You have to buy into them before they let you see all of the features. And I really don't see how that's fair. And I know they will let you create a website. I have a website, Kitryn-Marie.weebly.com, which is owned by Square, but there is no drop shipping involved with that. You can't incorporate another company. You have to have merchandise and inventory. And I'm in a shoebox. I am not in the right entity to have inventory. So I'm trying to figure out how Shopify is working and if it is going to be feasible and affordable for me to do. And although I don't have scarcity mindset, and I do believe if you build it, they will come. But I also believe what's more important is to have service instead of product. And when you are creating, it's creating the right word. If you are incorporating what your service is, who is that, Francis behind me? Beanie, where's you at? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Beanie, where is you? You see Francis? Can you see her? There's old Francis. Hi, the bean. If you incorporate your service Okay, here's some business coaching, and I'm going to get a little closer. And pardon the disheveledness. I have a cold, and work has been just yuck the last couple weeks. Wears on my appearance and my nerves. Of course, and now you can hear from Shug. Hey, here's real life. Here's life of an entrepreneur and a menagerie. Shug, stop. I'll zap you. Stop. No, no, no. Okay, back to business coaching. Just a hot minute here. If you have a service and you're providing a service for somebody, I teach classes. I teach how to put a vision board together. I teach painting classes. If you have a service and then you have a product that goes along with your service, you get that added boost in having a multi-stream income. In the food and beverage industry, you have food, you have liquor, and in between you should have retail merchandise. Because when food sales are up, liquor sales are down. When liquor sales are up, food sales are down. And when it plateaus about here, which it does January, February, March, you need to be able to have that retail to make up the difference for what you are not selling in food and liquor. Now, goes back to, I have a line of merchandise. I have themed, handcrafted totes, a variety of sizes. Variety of sizes. They make great laptop bags, gym bags, small grocery store, and I make them in a variety of sizes and a variety of themes. This is the dog one. This is the cat one, a little leopard print. And then I have a horse one. And then I have some other ones. So this is my line. This is from my KM Designs line. I have what I started last year, a line of quilted totes that have matching scarves. I have heat pads. There's no way to pause this app, or I would go run and get one. But from the quilted parts, I create heat pads, fill them with rice, and you throw it in the microwave, and then it heats up, and you put it on your body, whatever. And then I have a line of boho purses with fringe that I have made, that I have created. And for a while there, I was making hot pot holders and I can't think now. Bowl. Put your bowl and you put it in the microwave, and then when your bowl comes out, you put it in so your hands don't get hot by your bowl. That is all from my line. At one point, I had aprons and more pot holders and mitts and the whole bit. So, I'm trying to relaunch my line of merchandise and correlate that in an e-commerce site, bringing on a whole other line as my products, but still being able to teach and offer my services. And I believe Shopify will let me sell my classes or offer my classes, and they book them for me. But it goes back to, again, Shopify is expensive. I think it was like, and maybe it's not expensive to anybody else, but when you're already on a shoestring budget and you're trying to make money off of not really having money, knowing the industry that you are working in is not being very profitable to your bank account, You got to weigh out what can you do, where can you go, what is going to be the best option, what is going to work for you. So in the past couple weeks, I have been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, in which direction, because I don't want to do art fairs, craft fairs. That is not my market. And it is almost, I won't say a dying market, because there are some really, really good art and craft fairs that are out there. But then again, too, you want to go out of your area. There is nothing in my area here that I want even really, I don't think, to put my merchandise in. I want to go to an outside location. Years back when my person and I were in Gatlinburg, that one trip that we made, that was to try to see if there was going to be some entity there in Tennessee where I could travel there a couple times a year, teach a series of classes, offer my merchandise, and then come back to my home base. We had discussed at one point getting an RV and traveling and, taking the content creating part on the road while still offering my merchandise along the way, where we were staying in RV spots, both of us being avid fisher people, where we could talk about our fishing adventures and try to pick up a sponsor. That is the part of being a user-generated content creator. Those are things that I am trying to now really full-time work on that. And it's not as easy as a lot of these influencers make it out to be. And at one point, you like to think you're going to get all the followers that you need, and whoever your social media platform that you are using, they are going to see that they need to pay you, that they want you to speak on their platform. I think I had mentioned too, just recently, TikTok is allowing me to create live content, and they are paying me for my content, but not in the creator rewards program. This is a different program. You go live. Hang on. Nellie, stop. You go live on TikTok. You stay on the lives, for a period of time. The more views you see and the more little, I'll call them stickers, that are sent, for so many stickers that you get, TikTok then, what's the word I'm looking for, turns that into money, and then weekly they send you money for all of those little stickers that you have gotten while you're on live. I have gone live, I don't know, maybe 3 times in the last couple days. I'll probably do it again later tonight. And that's a whole other experience too. And I'm not real sure, those that are coming on the lives, what are they looking for? Because I'm not looking to date. I'm not looking to find me, a partner. I'm trying to promote my art and talk about my craft and talk about life in the restaurant industry, because last night's topic was the tipping culture. Not one person of the 365 views that were on my live last night did not comment one time about the subject that I was talking about. Now, the night before, when I was just rambling about anything and everything, that was the night that I actually made a little bit of money. Still can't get rid of my day gig, or the second gig, but I just talking randomly. I was getting paid for a bunch of nonsense. So there's a lot to take in when you are doing all of this content creating, when, and then me trying to figure out all the B-roll, just daily, getting myself together. Outfit of the day, which I think is so overrated, tidying up, cleaning my house, making coffee, cooking, all those things that people find really interesting in what happens behind the scenes. All the time, all the while, I should say, still trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate my line of merchandise and pick up a line that matches. Boy, I got way far away from what I started to say. Pick up a line that matches with the line of merchandise that my character in the next book that I'm writing has in her store. That makes sense? It's that wraparound effect of being an entrepreneur and living that lifestyle where everything is connected in one way or another. It's a lot, and if you don't have the right kind of brain and the space and capacity for first having the vision to see how it's supposed to work, and then trying to put it in a plan, and then trying to get it in motion, especially when the original plans have failed, and you're trying to pick up from scratch to see, okay, now what piece is going to fit? Because I'm about to lose my mind in the restaurant industry. I think it is peaked out, and now I'm going to sound like a broken record, but that Generation X, that Generation Jones, and the baby boomers were all aging out in terms of, we don't want to party anymore. We're watching where our money's going, and we're watching how our money is being utilized. We've got more years behind us than we do in front of us. So in terms of going out to dinner, other than it being a necessity and we need to eat, we don't want to waste our money frivolously. And with the cost of food in general in the grocery store, my dad always used to say, it's cheaper to go out to eat than it is to cook at home, for one. Well, I'm cooking for me and the kid. The dogs get mostly all the leftovers after about 4 days when, nobody else wants to touch them. But it's expensive to go out. And again, those 3 generations were aging out of drinking and eating out, other than it being, a special occasion. And being almost 65, wanting to retire out of an industry that at one time, I made hand over fist in money in. It's not working anymore. So I suppose my question to you is, if you were in the similar situation like I am, and you were trying to figure out what's next and what's on the other side, especially if you're an independent thinker and you're tired of making other people money and you want to do it for yourself, knowing you need to take an uncalculated risk, not knowing how you're going to end up, other than you see the vision on the other side. You see how that final product is supposed to look, but it's implementing all these things that you were unsure of. And if you were not a technical person, and you know how many times I say to my kid, Tyler, show me how to do this. Tyler, can you do this for me? And he just comes in and does it like nothing. And I'm like, how did you do that? So that's where I'm at right now. It is, what time is it? I no more feel like eating than the man in the moon. Like I said, I have this cold. It's about almost 5 o'clock. It's getting dark. It is cold here. I almost wish it would just snow again. So I have no other choice but to just sit at my computer and try to figure out money. Which way am I going? What am I incorporating in the line that I have, in the line that I want to pick up? Do I continue to market my painting classes? Do I try to business coach? Do I try to life coach with my vision board class? And in the meantime, I just really feel like I am beating my head against the wall, getting up and going into the same routine. I saw a meme this morning that said, 2025, that's all I've done is sleep, go to work, and try to find clarity and mental peace. Because 2026 certainly cannot be like this past year has been. And I hope you all understand that. I hope your clarity is a lot more clearer than the vision that I am still trying to put together. My kid said to me on Thanksgiving, the oldest, he said, Mom, are you going to get another horse? Because I'm lost without my horse. That was part of this year too. Because I always had her to go exercise with. I had her to go ride. I had her to build this dream that I could talk to her about, trying to get her to her own homestead. And to have another horse, I won't put myself in that same position like I was in. It's extremely costly. If my vet situation would be completely different, I definitely would have to be living out of this area. There's a lot to consider when you're talking about livestock. I still laugh at, having a donkey. I'd love to have a donkey, and I want to name him Steve after my ex-husband. I'd still like to get a llama, and an alpaca. The dream is still there. It's just what's the practical part of right now that's just going to veer me out of going to that stupid routine that is not working anymore. And this is just real life. I am watching very many businesses that are struggling this year. I'm looking at cost of what labor is. Not only in the restaurant industry, but, I had a bid for the front porch. It was $10,000. I got a bid for the roof. It's $18,000. Where is all this money supposed to come from? My homeowner's insurance will not cover the roof because it is basic wear and tear. It's not going to cover the porch. So if I am not earning and I am not doing what I need to do to have that revenue, I suppose the porch is going to give in. The roof is going to collapse. I did have a plumber here at the house last Friday because the sewers were backing up in the basement. That was interesting. What money I had set aside for Christmas went to the plumber guy. So, it's life. And I'm not the only one in this position. Nellie, I'm not the only one in this position. We are all looking at the same reality, trying to figure out how to work our way out of the routine. The older we get, we need it to be easier, not harder. And I won't mention, too, property taxes. I got mine, and my mortgage company will pay it, but I can promise you it's going to be short, and then somewhere along the line, I'll need to make up the difference with that. And I don't think I can work any more than I possibly can, going to that physical place that is no longer making me money. And this isn't complaining, and this isn't victimhood. This is real life and the real struggles. Hi, Boozy Gal. Hi, Boosh. This is just the real struggles of what the middle class is looking like. I would love to hear from you. Hi, Bougie. Hi, my girl. Hi, my girl. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear, hi, Nellie. I would love to hear what you have going on in your life and how you were making it all work for you. How are you finding the means to do all the things that you were needing to do in your life to keep the roof over your head and food in your refrigerator and take care of your family, and knock on wood, the car is okay. That was another, I don't know, what was it, $1,100 I put out a month ago on that for the 9th time in the shop. Life as it happens, being the entrepreneur, trying to promote art classes, a line of merchandise, lend my hand in the food and beverage industry. What can I say? It's a lifestyle, and I would love to hear what yours is. At one point, it all falls into place, and you can't give up. You have to keep going. You have to think at some point, everything that you were striving for is just going to fall into place. But I am Kitryn Marie, an artist, a writer, a speaker, a life and a business coach, a published author. When He Had Her, it's available on Amazon. Make a great Christmas gift for your favorite reader. It is a psych thriller, an easy read. You'll get through it in a couple hours. For today, for tomorrow, be happy, be blessed, be thankful for everything. Remember, fate turns on a dime. It is up to you to decide what side of the coin you want to be on. Y'all take care, and I will see you soon. Please leave a comment below, follow, subscribe, send me an email, kitrynmarie@gmail.com, wherever you are. Stay warm, and I will see you real soon. Take care. Bye.